genuinely think that the Corsa B is the next come-up car. The next mild hatch to become worth some sort of money. Now, bear with me in this video because I'm going to try and explain to probably most people on the internet as to why I think this, why I believe that probably buying one now is the right thing to do, and why when I was growing up, these cars were cool then. They've subsequently rusted out, been parted out, crashed, whatever's happened. I think the come-up is coming, mate. I reckon they're on their way up. But as ever, guys, make sure you like this video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Let me know what your first car was, what you wanted to do to it. Are you subsequently then looking at them online? Let me know in the comments below. But onwards, and I'll try and explain why I feel this way about this car. So first off, we are in a Corsa B. So this followed on after the Nova, which you will all know full well that even an entry-level little 1 litre variant of that car still is quite a hefty sum these days. £4,000-5,000 you'll be in on one of those, on a relatively nice one. A GSI, mate, you're talking big money. Now, unfortunately, I am yet to really sink my teeth into a Nova on the channel. I would still absolutely love to shoot one, because years ago, you'd never thought of owning one, buying one, even restoring or making one nice. And people from that era, the Nova era, are now looking at them going, oh, I could really do with one of them. I remember having one, I remember scrapping it, getting £200 for it, so on and so forth. The follow-on is the next generation, so sort of my generation really, mid-30s, and now looking at Corsa Bs and going, huh, I had one of them when I was young, and oh, I'd quite like one. And this is exactly what the owner of this car has done. He had one when I had my Corsa C, shout out Corsa C's, my first car, but he had a silver one of these when I had my Corsa C. We used to drive around together, meet up, Corsa lads and all that when we were younger. And he said a few years ago, do you know what, mate, I'd love another Corsa B on cav slabs, just lowered and clean. And he went and did it. This one come up for sale, 66,000 miles in this gorgeous blue colour, and he was like, regardless of engine, I am buying that. That is such a lovely little car, let's go. And it takes you back to an era in your life where you maybe had less stress, more money to play with cars, it takes you back, and that's exactly what I got today. This very simple recipe of what was, because they're going up, a cheap enough little Corsa is giving the owner, and then subsequently me, the fizz of their youth, which I know a lot of people won't understand here, but I love that. Going back and reminiscing about times gone by when you were younger. And I know I'm only 34, I know I can't believe I'm saying it either, but this car is giving me that today. The whole vibe from the outside, especially with the cav slab wheels, which are one of Vauxhall's best wheels, suits the Corsa B down to the ground, in my opinion. They suited this car 15, 16, 17 years ago when I had my Corsa, and I saw the owner of this car's Corsa B driving around decked on cav slabs, and I was like, mate, that just suits that car so well. Even in 2023, I would see one of these. I'd see this drive past now and think, yes, mate, that is so cool. And I know it's hard for a lot of people to fathom why I'm going on about a Corsa B. It's a 12-valve, 1 litre with some Vauxhall wheels on it, just lowered. It's hard to explain, but basically, whatever car you had when you were younger, try and buy it back, try and buy it now. And if you're old enough and you've had your fair share of cars and you've been driving a while, that car probably is untouchable now, which is a huge shame. My generation, I'd say, we are nearly at the point where cars are starting to go up from our youths. I talk to people in their 50s and so on, they say, mate, I had a Mark 1 Escort. It was only, had a little engine in it, but I'm never buying one of those cars again. And I start to think, yeah, I know what you mean, mate. What's the next car though? What's the next generation? This is it. This is the next generation of car to go up. Mark my words, try and find a nice GSI one of these, mate. It's going to be dear. So let's take a quick look round this Corsa B. Nostalgia is 100% kicking in for me with The lows on a Corsa B with cav slabs, I mean, there's something about it. I know there might be a lot of people in the comments saying they don't get it. I get it 100% because I was there in this era where these wheels were cheap, these cars were cheap enough for you to pretty much do what you wanted to them. So this one, cav slabs, refinished as well. They look absolutely fantastic on a Corsa B. Lowered as well, 60 mil, just to make it look right. And the stunning blue paint looks really good today with the slight sun that we have in the UK at the moment. Now, paintwork aside, this has been bought as is. It's been cleaned up, yes, but the owner wants to take the car, well, certain bits off, especially bonnet, new bonnets going on, various bits when it all happens. But yeah, as a package, he literally just bought this, lowered it, wheels, DTM mirrors from era. I mean, this is a very era correct mirror to put on a Corsa B, in my opinion. So yeah, cool car. You're probably going to find this general condition on most of them with, you know, some paint, some rust on certain areas. Just watch what you're buying at the end of the day. But yeah, I feel like they look right on these wheels. It's one of my favourite wheels that Vauxhall ever did. It just sits so right. It's really harping back to me sat in car parks, this car. It's really, really weird. I absolutely love it. It also has this spoiler as well from 1416s of the same generation. Just finishes off that back end, coming right round the boot and up the top there. The Corsa 12 valve badges there, looking really good. I absolutely love these little cars. I'm a Vauxhall fan from previous years, my first car being a Corsa C, so I get it entirely. Coming into the inside though, we'll show you guys the interior. Vauxhall era correct seats with the little blue pattern and the grey inside there. Electric windows on this model, which is nice, and it has an airbag, which I believe to be a later model car, if not all of the Corsa Bs coming with airbags. We'll just jump in and show you guys the interior. Original Blaupunk sound system in this as well, which is pretty cool. Tape player to have in a Corsa B. I know it sounds so silly that I'm showing you guys this, but I think it's cool. But yeah, interior dash in that really, really nice condition in this one. But we'll shut the door, get back on the road, and give my final thoughts as to why everybody should buy one, maybe their first car that they used to have, a car subsequent after that that they really enjoyed, because the prices are going up. Now I know I've waffled on a bit, I get it, but unless I'm making content like this, content I love making about cars from the past that are still on a budget, easy to obtain. This is an easy to obtain car at the moment. Yes, you might find rusty ones, high mileage ones, maybe not as desirable spec as the one you had when you were younger, but you've got to think, if history repeats itself and we are all in the same pot when we're in our 40s thinking, I've got a bit of money now, you know, I've saved up, I've done this with my life, you know, I've got a space on the driveway, I have a garage where I want to put something that I had when I was younger. You then start looking, say we're 10, 15 years down the line, this car is going to be just untouchable. You're not going to be able to find a really nice, regardless of engine, spec, anything, you're not going to find a nice version of this car. They will be completely thrown away, they will be expensive, they will be just not really worth you buying at that point, unless you like spending loads of money on a 1 litre Corsa B. So I feel like at the moment, I'm gonna say this, and I've said it a few times, the time to buy is now, right? The market's coming back down. I feel like cars are becoming readily available in the used car market, especially. If you're after your first car, if you're after a car that sentimentally means something to you, regardless of what it is, go and do it. And if you've got that space on the driveway, tuck it up, keep it, make it as nice as you want it to be. Hark back to your early days of driving around and enjoying a 1 litre car. Go for it. I will say now though, and we're a bit far into the video now, this is getting the ultimate engine swap in my opinion. This is actually getting the Saab turbo engine, a fantastic package engine that you can put into these Corsa Bs. It's getting that with an F20 gearbox. So we will reshoot this years down the line when that is completely done. But it's what the owner wanted to do when he first had this car, when he was 17, 18, 19 years old. He wanted to put that Saab engine into it. Now he's grown up, he's had kids, and he's gone, I think it's time to do that Saab swap in a Corsa B. And I take my hat off to him, because I am a Corsa C fan. I love a Z20 let. I would love to Z20 let a Corsa C at some point in my YouTube career, but in my life as well, because that was the car that got me into cars, and then the engine package and the engine swap that got me into, you know, wanting to do anything modified to a car very similar to this car as well. The owner goes back and he's like, yeah, I wanted to Saab swap a Corsa B, so I think I'm gonna do it now. If you have a car like that, if you have an engine you've wanted to put in a car, make it happen, because very soon you ain't gonna find it, or it's gonna be well expensive. Anyway guys, sorry for blabbing in this video. Hope a lot of people out there take something from it, where, you know, you're getting on in life, you're having kids, you're doing stuff. I feel like sometimes you need to look back and think, what made me happy? If I can buy this, say a package for £1,000 for a really nice, clean, low mileage version of this car, I don't think you're gonna buy one for £1,000 these days, but say it's £1,000. You then spend 1,500 quid on a Saab turbo lump gearbox, mounts, making it lovely. Say you're £2,500 to £3,000 into this car, you will not be able to buy another car for that money that gives you the same sort of fizz and ticks the tick in your head of what you've wanted back in the day. I know I do. Again, Corsa C for me with a Z20 let. One day, mate, we'll make it happen. But thank you so much for watching today's video, guys. If you understand anything I've said in this video, please give it a like. Thank you so much for watching, guys. We'll see you on the next one.